Roller coasters are designed to thrill you. Some build up their speed gradually, and others literally try to kill you. So today, I'm going over the best and worst starts to UK coasters to see which ones bore you to death before the ride's even begun, versus coasters that make you grey out from intensity from the very first second. Or in other words, which starts are world class and which ones are shit. Before we start with the list, we need to go over some rules. Firstly, lift hills do not count. Before any of you say, "Oh, you're so stupid. Swarm and Oblivion start with lifts before the drop." Like, shut up, mate. You have the personality of soggy bread. Also, if a coaster has a pre-lift, then that counts as the beginning. Anyway, that's pretty much everything, so let's begin with Hyperia. This is a great one to start with. As of when I'm writing this, I rode it just over a week ago. Go watch my video on that. I completely forgot about the outer bank that it starts off with until I was eye to track with the ride. Oh well. Personally, I think it's a fun and interesting way to start the experience, as it's a unique element that shows that Hyperia isn't like other coasters. However, I have heard people complain about this turn feeling quite uncomfortable due to the rider hanging to the left for such a long time. And you know what I say to that? Suck it up, you absolute wussy wet fish. Overall, it's better than just starting with a boring unbanked turn, so I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Great success.
In contrast, this is just a big unbanked turn. How creative, Pleasure Beach, well done. Let's just plonk down a big Pepsi can and hope no one notices, am I right? I appreciate that Pleasure Beach had absolutely no room when building the big one, having to sandwich the station in the butt crack of 2 rides. But surely they could have done something more with this. Anyway, the only redeeming quality to this start is the huge Pepsi can that you used to go through. However, now, instead of the Pepsi Max branding, it says the Hypercoaster with altitude. If anyone actually knows what that means, then please put it in the comments because I'm absolutely clueless. In the end, this is one of the worst starts to a UK coaster, and it deserves a 4 out of 10. Now, I love Oblivion way more than any mentally sane person should, or maybe I'm not sane. Who knows at this point? Anyway, ignoring the lift hill and the first turn, the start of Oblivion is the best and pretty much only element on the ride. Arguably, this is one of the best drops in the UK, and I absolutely agree with that statement. The moment of terror when you're just hanging over the pit of unknown, while a literal brown tear runs down your leg, then the sudden descent that takes your breath away is absolutely amazing. But let's not talk about what happens afterwards, because there's nothing afterwards.
Nothing? I have nothing!
As the French say, je l'adore. And I'm giving Oblivion start a 10 out of 10. Nice. And hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, why not like and subscribe? It takes seconds and supports my channel more than you could imagine. I'm trying to get to 1k by the end of the year, so if you want to support me, please hit the like button and subscribe. Anyway, back into the video. Now, I'm breaking the rule of including the pre-lift here, because the next major part of the ride is just as lackluster. The very first element is truly a quick, boring, unbanked turn, but I want to talk about the first drop, because it's so bad. Despite reaching 20 meters in height, which is slightly taller than Rita. Suck it, Rita, you're absolutely shit. My point is, despite the height and supposed speed, it never goes very quickly. Like, I could get the same sensation you get from 13's drop by sitting on my living room sofa. The trims just absolutely kill the ride. They feel so unnecessary, and it would be a much better experience without them. So yeah, no me gusta. Now this is the way to start a ride. It scares the crap out of people who don't know it's there. It sets the tone for the rest of the ride, because there's no better way to start a ride about inversions than a secret inversion, am I right? And finally, it's the only part of the ride that doesn't cave your skull in with roughness. I'm sorry, Smiler fans, please don't marmalade me, please. Hear me out. I can agree with people who say that Icon's first launch is overhated, however, it's still nothing to write home about. I used to find this launch quite punchy, but after being on so many faster coasters, and possibly the factor of riding it 5 times in a row, now I feel like the initial kick it used to have has just disappeared. Icon doesn't really impress me with either of the launches, however towards the end of the day, they are way more punchy than before. Anyway, I don't like intense launches, but apparently Icon should be launching at a faster rate than it actually is. So either a slightly faster speed or acceleration would probably put it in the best category. although at the moment, it's not that good. Now sadly, due to the constant horrific queue time, I didn't get the opportunity to experience... No, that's not the right word. Endure? Maybe? Oh, I know. Die! I have heard some great reviews of Saw, until you go outside. Luckily, the best section is the start. If you're on the second train, you get an exclusive pre-show from Billy the Diva. Don't know why the first train doesn't see him. Seems like some lone wolf energy right there. Anyway, you have a few surprise elements for clueless first-time riders, such as a steep drop and a heartline roll. I think this is a nice touch, as it adds extra theming as opposed to the dusty pit you're in for the rest of the ride. Also, all the perverts out there will love the little naked man. What a nice thing to finish off on. What do you think are the best and worst starts to UK coasters? There are obviously way more I can cover, so if you'd like to see a part 2, please like and subscribe. 75 likes and I'll make a sequel. I hope you enjoyed. This isn't my only video, so go watch some of my other ones if you just want a fun, chill time. Right, in a bit.